Hi everybody, welcome to Escape from Tarkov, and this is playing on my 7-year-old crappy Asus laptop, but of course I'm using a Shadow Boost cloud gaming PC, and I wanted to kind of make this video so I could talk about how well Escape from Tarkov runs on the Shadow Cloud Boost. So Shadow gaming PCs and Shadow Boosts are obviously they're in the cloud, and you stream them to your old PC hardware, so you can play high-end AAA games at high graphical settings on old hardware, and you pay a monthly fee. And what the Shadow Boost offers is a GTX 1080, 12 megabytes of RAM, 256 gigabyte SSD, and which is obviously expandable if you pay more for for having more games, and a is it a 4-core processor? I think you'll have to check the website for the exact details. Now, Tarkov is a early access, a beta game, so hence it's not particularly well optimized in the first place. Also, you've got to play around with the settings an awful lot. So I went to a website that offered to kind of explained how to play around with the settings. So I've done that, and I've gone in and kind of optimized them. And what I found is, depending on it really depends on the map you're on, what FPS you get. So I was in, and I might get the names of some of these maps wrong. So when I was in the warehouse map, my Shadow Boost is streaming at 1080p. So that's what my screen is on my laptop, I think. On the warehouse map, where you're just inside the warehouse all the time, I was getting 110 frames a second. On this map, which I'm not dead sure what it's called, does it tell me up here? No. This one, I'm getting about 40 frames a second. Maybe because it's a bigger map. I've come outside. It could be that the game needs to be restarted, so I can flush my the RAM gets flushed out or something like that. But from what I understand, it's quite difficult to get Escape from Tarkov running really well on PCs anyway. However, the other thing to remember is that this is a competitive multiplayer shooter as well. So you may well want to have much lower settings, have everything like on low, so that the game runs at its maximum FPS, and things like, you don't get distracted by things like...
Yeah, put down that.
You can probably guess that was an AI scav, I guess. So he didn't kill me. And then I managed to miss him. So let's get out of here so we can talk a little bit more. Actually, it looks like it's getting dark, so that isn't brilliant for video quality. But yeah, so what I found is it really depends on the map when you're playing Escape from Tarkov. It's definitely playable, at 50 frames a second, 60 frames a second on this map, which is what I'm getting. It kind of, it feels alright. And probably the biggest obstruction to me doing well isn't really the speed that the game is running. It's really my lack of experience with keyboard and mouse, and lack of accuracy more than anything else. This is the offline mode, so this is a mode where I haven't actually got any live proper players in with me. I've just got AI bots running around which I can shoot, and I had to do that because every time I tried to play online I kept getting killed all the time. And it was a bit demoralising, because I really need to kind of learn the maps, and that's what you can do in the offline mode. But when I was in the online mode, the FPS was very, very similar. In certain maps it was low like this, 40 frames a second, and then in other maps it was flying along above 100 frames a second. So what we'll do, let's just quickly go into the settings, and you can kind of see what settings I've got. And what I'll do is, you can go full screen and you can look at this, but what I'll do is I'll link to the site in the description below the video, and I basically copied all of their settings. Apart from in the Post FX, I turned the saturation and the colourfulness down as well, because I felt they had it a little bit too colourful. So there we go. So in answer to the question, How does Escape from Tarkov run? Well, on my shadow boost, it depends on the map. On this particular map, it's 1080p. It's running at about 35 to 40 frames a second. On other maps, though, it runs at 1080p, and we're looking, well over 100 frames a second. But of course, actually, the thing I should say as well is that if you're playing on an old laptop, your laptop screen probably maxes out at 60 frames a second anyway. And if you're connecting it to a TV via HDMI, your TV probably maxes out at 60 frames a second. So you can't take advantage of that 120 frames a second unless you attach a monitor. However, if I'm not mistaken, I think with the shadow boost you're limited to 60 frames a second anyway. Anyway, it looks like I've got to engage a AI scav who's probably going to come and kill me, so I will wish you adieu. And remember, if you've got any questions or comments, put them in the box down below. And if you want me to try out different games on Shadow Boost, just let me know. And obviously, if I own a copy of it, or if it's a free game, I can download and give it a go. Anyway, that's enough for me. See you again soon. Thank you very much.